we could do some. I didn't even realize you could do stuff like this. I always figured that you kind of have to be in the same room as people. So, I mean, if you want to break down for people a little bit of how the structure of the song works, and you know what you did. I know you did a hell of a job producing on this thing, man. I mean, you did an
Thanks.
amazing job.
Well, I've always really loved doing acoustic versions of songs. I learned guitar on an acoustic guitar, so naturally when we talked about this, I was like, well, I'm definitely not going to do it on piano because I don't really play piano.
Yeah, and also it's not much of a cover if the original's on piano.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly. So I was like, well, I'll do it on guitar and I'll just kind of build it out in layers, and I have it pulled up. I just happen to have it pulled up right here.
Oh, you just happen to have it pulled up, do you?
Yeah, it's, you know. So it started with this, the guitar that's at the very beginning, but it carries through the whole song. Right, so you got that.
So great.
Which was a lot of fun to do. I kind of did it in parts because I was figuring it out as I went. And then there's a guitar bass line, just dropping down the bass line. It's really simple. Just here it is. Right? That's just to add some sort of depth in the background. And then all the chorus guitars together, I'll do that because there's quite a few of them. This is what the chorus would sound like if it was just the guitars.
Turn it up, turn it up. I love one of the guitars. It's like a steel guitar almost, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's got.
It's my, I have a Les Paul and it was just super. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I did this entire song on the acoustic and just changed the way the acoustic sounded.
Really?
Yeah, so the entire song, there's no electric guitar in the song at all. It's just
What?
acoustic. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I was trying to remember, and then, yeah, it's all basically just an acoustic guitar, besides the bass and all the other things. But so then there was shaker.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Self-explanatory. Again, an acoustic song, these are the elements. This is the shaker. I always use this shaker.
I love it, dude.
And on occasion, I'll throw in a little bit of, you know, right? Or a little bit of that. That's really loud and annoying.
Cool.
So we're moving on. We got the bass, which is a Hofner, like a bass that's like Paul McCartney's bass.
Oh, very nice.
I have one of those. Simple bass line. Here's your lead vocal.
And where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness.
Oh, yeah.
And then last but not least so here's all four of the harmonies in the verse before that chorus together. Hold on, I gotta move it back a little bit. Seagulls left and you stay right between the lines of fear and blame. You begin to wonder why you came.
Whoa! Oh my God, that's amazing, man. I've never heard that before.
I know, you haven't heard that, so it's just kind of in the back behind your vocal. It's just sort of building this bed of, and I might, with songs normally, I go over the top with harmonies because when I was growing up, I learned how to sing by unknowingly singing the harmonies to songs on the radio.
Yeah.
Like I was doing it instinctively. I think I had one music lesson when I was like 9. That was it. So I was just singing harmonies. So now when I'm doing songs, I'm always instinctively going to the harmony. And sometimes I layer like, 15 harmonies.
Oh, that's so cool. Can you
And then
can you play for everybody just the vocals together, your vocals and my vocals, no music?
yeah, so
Just
here's the sort of the mid part of the verse going into the chorus.
Some sort of window to the right, as he goes left and you stay right. Between the lines of fear and blame, you begin to wonder why you came. Where did I go wrong? I lost a friend somewhere along in the bitterness, and I would have stayed up with you all night had I known how to save a life.
dude, it's so cool. That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
So the folks over at the Post had a question. What's important to you about this song? What about this song is important to you?
Well, I guess this song was so unbelievably big. And it's one of those songs that you're really happy has the iconic, feeling that it has, because it's such a beautiful song. And I mean, this song it was like a part of my teenage years, and still
Yeah.
is a part of my life. So that's what's important about it to me. What about you?
Yeah, it's so weird. When this song came out, I remember thinking like, "Oh, this is a good song." And the Fray, I mean, the guy's a very talented guy, and I liked the song. I just liked it. I wasn't like, it wasn't like one of my favorite songs, but it was a good song. And then when it came time to look for songs to do for this album and recording, and recording singles and all this kind of stuff, this one popped up. I kept getting requested for it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to take another listen to it." And I had never listened to the lyrics of the song, like really, like listened to what the song is about. And
Yes.
not to be like overly personal, but I had a friend take his own life about 2 years ago, and it was so sad and so rough, and this just nailed me and right in the heart. I was like, oh my God, this is a really like
Yeah.
this song has like real stuff to it. It means a lot to a lot of people, and a lot of people have learned from it and have used it to help them get through harder times or things like this. And then it carried a lot of weight, and then I really wanted it to be amazing. And that's one of the reasons I'm so stoked to be doing it with you, is because then honestly, doing it with like a friend or some talented whatever person is one thing, but like there's fun to doing it with you. You know what I mean? Like to working on this with you, and that kind of elevated it. It lightened it enough for me that I wasn't like getting depressed while I was singing it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like hope. It was hopeful instead of like hurtful. So it was cool. I'm a huge fan of the original, and I think I've listened to like 50 different covers of the song to hear how other people have done it, and I think our version really stands up with.
I think so too. I hope so.
Hope so too.
Ultimately, it's an homage to a beautiful song, and like some of my favorite songs are covers. So hopefully it gravitates. People gravitate towards it, and it was just fun, man. I'm so happy you asked me about it. Who's that?
What's that?
Did you hear that?
Oh, my phone rang, but I hung it up.
Good. Well, good. I was like,
Oh,
this thing is about to derail.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you asked me to do it, because it's something I love to do. Making an acoustic version of a song, it's like, yeah, I mean, that's my thing. So I'm
I
happy
love
that,
it.
and of all people, to do it with you, Glickman, because we go way back, and I
Yeah,
love
man.
you, dude.
I remember meeting you at Scott Fellows' house the night
Yes.
that you got the job, I remember going over and being like, oh my God, this is this is going to be the future. These are the guys of this is how it's going to be. I have a picture of all of us from that night. Like, it's
I was
crazy.
wearing, all I know is I was wearing, I think, a vest and a fedora, and it was,
Yes, you
or I was
definitely
wearing a
were
blue
wearing a
shirt,
fedora.
and a fedora, and that boy, that was a sign of the times, wasn't it?
It really was. It truly was. Fedoras. Fedoras. I have a bunch of fedoras, and you will never see me wearing any
Yeah, don't
fedoras.
don't wear them anymore.
It is not good. When I wear a fedora, it looks like I know everything about Game of Thrones. You know? It's not. It's just embarrassing.
Or maybe you play a little D&D on the side, little Dungeons and Dragons on the side.
Yeah, I run a D&D tournament
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
living room.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Katie Mullenheiser asked, who are your biggest influences in the music industry? Um, who who's the big influences?
Um, Incubus, is probably one of my favorite bands.
Oh yeah, man.
Heavily influenced still. I mean, it was like ingrained in me, like the emo days. Heavily influenced by emo music still. Uh, I love Radiohead, and
Yeah.
I mean, you know what's really funny is that as I'm saying all this, it makes like, wow, Kendall sounds like a bro dude, like
What?
one of those hipster bro dudes that likes Radiohead and Incubus. But truthfully,
Come on.
those bands are the songwriting. Because I'm not paying attention. I'm not. There's a feeling there, but I'm paying attention to the songwriting and the art that goes into it. And those are some of, you know. And then emo was just like that. It was, I was 15 and I was hooked. So
Yeah.
that's honestly why I sing the way I sing, is from that genre.
Oh, I'm right there with you, man. Like when I started going into the studio to record songs a couple months ago or 2 months ago or so, I started going in and I'm like, I'm gonna do one Radiohead, I'm gonna do one Billie Eilish song, I'm gonna do one Post Malone song, I'm gonna do one this, one that, and I left with 3 Radiohead songs. I think the goal was to record 5 songs and like have 5 songs mastered. And at this point, including How to Save a Life, I'm now at 16 songs recorded and mastered. Like,
Unbelievable.
I mean, it has been so much damn fun. And now I'm just in this like weird place where I just like want to make more things. Like, I just contact the Vitamin String Quartet, who I've been a fan of this quartet. They're for like 10 years. They had an entire Radiohead album that's just violin and cello and viola, and I was like, oh my God, if I could work with them. And I keep telling people that I'm excited, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, it's not as common knowledge to have how, I mean, like, they're amazing, but
Yeah.
I think there's just certain things, like when you finally get to play around or you know, do something in music, then you're like, oh man, there's all these things I've always wanted to do, and then you kind of get a chance to start doing some of them. And one of those things was working with you because you're
Well,
the best.
you know what's really funny, man? I have this entire setup right here. I mean, I have the ability to make anything, and sometimes the hardest part is sitting down and just making something, because I do not think that music is purely like, you know, it's not like I have to be inspired in order to make something. It really is a skill. Inspiration is like still the overwhelming majority of it,
Yeah.
but it really is a skill. And like sitting down and just making music for the love of it is the most important thing. And that's why I was so happy when you asked me, because that's really what it is. It's just like making a song for the love of making it sound cool, you know?
Do you ever get worried, like when you're trying to decide about like doing a song or doing a cover or doing something, like, do you ever get worried that you, like, overthink it and be like, oh, it's got to be perfect because, you know, that you have such a huge fan base, like you just want to, You just want to kill it every day. Like, what is it, nerve-wracking at all to sign them?
It's very nerve-wracking. I have all the same feelings that anyone has when they're trying to do something that they really love. You know, it's like every time you sit down, you're like, I'm not going to come up with something, and then sometimes it's just like, you know, and you have an amazing, you know, fit of inspiration. It's hard. You know what I learned? I learned compare despair, right? Compare equals despair. So what I've been trying to do, I know that my music is not like anybody else's because I'm not trying to be like anyone else. And so it's going to be what it's going to be. And hopefully people like it. And so I sit down and I make something, and I don't stop myself because I'm not saying, oh, let me stop because this isn't in a particular genre. I go, just push forward and make something weird. You know?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's what I've been trying to do. Just make something that's weird and awesome and cool and has a feeling, you know?
I've been working with Casey Abrams. You know Casey.
Love Casey.
We've been working on a cover of "Losing My Religion" by REM, and he came in with a bouzouki. Have you ever heard someone play the bouzouki?
What does it look like?
It's like a mandolin, but it's the size of a guitar. But it sounds. It's just a really weird. Like, it's a giant mandolin. It's just the weirdest instrument. So he came in and played like a bunch of like Greek instruments and Middle Eastern instruments on "Losing My Religion" to try to just make it sound like something off the Doctor Strange soundtrack. Like, it's really weird.
You should get some
cool.
sitar. You should get some sitar.
Oh,
there as well.
yeah. He plays sitar, so that, you know, you gotta. I mean, who plays sitar?
If you have a friend who plays those things, you utilize them to play those things. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Kendall, this is so exciting and so wonderful. The song is out now. It's out everywhere, so anybody can grab it wherever they want. And
there is 1,000 people watching this right now, and so that means that 1,000 people should go check out the song right after we get
done. They should absolutely go check it out. It's on Spotify, it's on Pandora, it's on Apple Music, it's everywhere. So go look up "How to Save a Life." You can look up "How to Save a Life" Steven or "How to Save a Life" Kendall. It'll pop up right away. We're both in the title. It's an easy thing to find, and it has a lot of heart and soul in it, and it's our heart and soul. It's our
heart and soul, buddy.
Dude, I hope we get to do more stuff. Would you consider doing another cover with me sometime in the future?
I would consider it. Yes, I would.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. That would be good. I would appreciate that. That'd be fun. Maybe I could come to the studio and we could make something at your studio.
That would be nice, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, buddy. Well, stay safe. Should we answer one more question from fans before we go?
One more question and we'll duck out.
Okay, here we go. One more question. Okay, what is the first thing that you are going to want to do when Corona is over and you can go do whatever you want?
Well, I'd like to travel. I've really been thinking about Europe and Italy and places like that. And honestly, most importantly, I would like to be able to collaborate with friends and some talented people and not have to attempt to collaborate over Zoom, and be in person and write songs again together in a room together.
Totally.
That's what I'd like to do.
Absolutely.
What about you?
Oh, man. I want to play a show in front of an audience. I want to be in front of an audience again. That is, live on stage and do a live thing. I want to see my friends and do my podcast live again, and be able to interview people in person and sit down, feel them, you know.
Yeah.
I want to eat at a restaurant with a waiter.
You know what I want to do? I want to be able to walk up to somebody and not do this and not go, oh.
Oh, 100%.
That's
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to. Some people I've read articles that have said like maybe this is a good time for the death of the handshake, and I completely disagree. As soon as this is over and we're all good to go, I'm gonna be shaking hands. I'm gonna be kissing babies. I'm gonna be hugging people.
Oh yeah.
Because I refuse to live life thinking that we're all gonna die eventually. So I'm gonna enjoy it and
Where's the
with
hugs
people.
at? Where's the hugs?
Where the hugs at? I want to shake hands and really look at someone and be like, "It's so nice to meet you." Like I want to do that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I love that. And I love you, Kendall.
And I
You're
love
the greatest.
you, Blickman.
Thank you so much, dude. Everybody watching, go over to Spotify, go to Pandora, go to all the different music places. Go get How to Save a Life, featuring and produced by Mr. Kendall Schmidt.
Here it
and
is.
sung by me.
It's right here. All you got to do is just play that song.
Step one, you say.
All right. I love you, buddy.
Love you too, buddy. Talk to you soon. Be safe.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.